Welcome back to Optimized Health, where we're making easy, healthy, and delicious meals. Today we are continuing on a series that we are happy to. You should talk to your doctor, healthcare provider, or veterinarian to see if any of these recipes, suggestions, or contents of these videos are right for you. Nothing contained in these videos are intended to be taken as medical advice. Use at your own risk. Present to you weight loss biohacking. I'm going to go through some of the basic ground rules with weight loss, going back to kind of recap some of our topics for you guys so you don't have to go back and watch everything unless you have time. And then I also want to do a follow-up video after this. If you'd stay tuned, I'm going to walk you through a typical day for me, just so you can see how I apply some of these very specific biohacks and when and how they're done, and how they fit into a very busy schedule. So I wanted to start with just talking about weight loss in general, with the importance of hormones. And a lot of you are, learning that as are the rest of us in the world, as we watch how Ozempic has such a significant impact. Ozempic, on the surface really does look like it's very helpful, and I'm sure it's helping a lot of people. I don't know that it's optimal for everyone. Personally, I'm really focused on, my muscle mass, and as I get older, I know how important it is to preserve muscle mass. So with Ozempic leading to weight loss with both the muscle and the fat, as someone that can do other things, I'm gonna go for alternatives that are more natural. And anybody else who would like to follow along with that, I'll be happy to help, talk to you more specifically about your needs, but also in our videos, we're going to be going through a lot of options along those lines. So weight loss and biohacking, today we're talking about how nature's Ozempic is basically intermittent fasting and time-restricted feeding. So a lot of benefits. We've gone through this in other videos, but there's a lot of metabolic health impact, and there's a lot of downstream effects coming from that. So most of Western disease is stemming from metabolic disease, and our metabolic health is something we need to really focus on and preserve. And that's where we are, why we're doing the intermittent fasting, and why we incorporate low carb also. On that line, I would comment that, just because I need to keep this kind of brief, low carb is most likely going to help people who are having any weight loss struggle, because we become insulin resistant when we are having trouble losing weight. And so we need to get our metabolism back on track, and at the same time you need to eat. So continuing to put in carbs when your body's not handling it, that doesn't work. So you want to take a different approach, and the low carb keto options are very good for a lot of reasons I've talked about before, in reducing inflammation and being a cleaner burning fuel, being very good building blocks for what we need, any gender, but especially women who are cycling and making hormones. You need to have healthy fats as a precursor to be able to make hormones. You need to have cholesterol to do that. So you need to not shy away from healthful fats. And so it's not about calories. It's really, it comes down to this hormone balance. What I want to talk about today more in depth and give you some examples of how I go through this is with cortisol and our hormone hierarchy. From that lecture, we know about cortisol being the king. I mean, cortisol is in charge, and if you don't have cortisol in check, you're not going to have any of your other hormones in check, and that's going to put you in a really damaging metabolic state when you have elevated stress and elevated cortisol levels chronically. We need to lower our cortisol if we want to have any chance of losing weight or maintaining our weight. So some of these tips that I go through are going to include being able to address cortisol, the spikes in the morning, trying to lower stress more throughout the day, trying to optimize our sleep and our healing and repair. And also I'm going to touch on some specific things like with circadian rhythm and why I do things at the time that I do. So I really appreciate you tuning in, and please watch the next video that we're going to have just walking through my day and our biohacks. Thanks.